Hey everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Welcome to another class. We're going to be talking about the 8 factors to master your personal finances. So we're going to give you an overview of some of the most important areas when it comes to your finances and what are some of the things that you could focus on to take your finances to the next level. This is a really good, broad discussion that we're going to have today. We're going to talk on so many different points from investing mindset, credit scores. It's going to really give you a good overlay of the things that you need to look out for and need to do. So I'm excited to be here. We're going to have a lot of fun here. We're going to do a great class. So in the questions box, let us know where you're listening in from. Good morning, Deborah from Vancouver Island. Good morning, Sammy from London, Ontario. Good morning, Mary from Toronto. Good to see everyone. Ronnie, Southern Ontario here. Welcome, Ronnie. Thanks for joining us. We have Montreal. Alpha, welcome. John from Nova Scotia. Great. So let's jump right into today's class. So, a little bit about Enriched Academy. For those of you that don't know Enriched, our mission is really simple. We want to make financial freedom accessible to everyone. Financial stress is one of the worst things in the world. There's nothing that takes the joy out of life more than financial stress. So, our goal at Enriched Academy is to help Canadians have the education tools, support to live a financially free life and to live life how they want to without worrying about money. Some of our guiding principles, you could read through these. Some of them are, we deeply care about our clients. We know our clients are number one. They're our main focus. Our success comes from the ability to create success in others. We're always trying to make things fun, entertaining, engaging. We believe in simplicity, not the complex. And we're always trying to get better and grow. So today, as of right now, over 200,000 Canadians are using Enriched Academy, 46 different organizations, and we have great partnerships right across this amazing country. Partnerships including the Ontario Chiropractor Association, the British Columbia Police Association, the Canadian Football League, the NHL alumni. A lot of companies and organizations are seeing the importance of financial literacy and they're investing in their people. They're giving them resources like Enriched Academy, which is so refreshing to see. We have our educational partners as well. So great educational institutions that also see the importance of financial literacy that are including this education for students. The government of Alberta, one of the most proactive provinces in the country, has made it mandatory for all the students to provide education for their high school students. York Region District School Board, Toronto District School Board, incredible there. Sorry about that, Ronan. So what to expect on today's class? The financial trap causing Canadians to work until the day that they die. We're going to talk about that. The psychology of money. And what are the biggest misconceptions and beliefs that are holding you back? We got to break those. Understanding your credit score. The difference between rich and wealthy. There is a huge difference. How to avoid being taken advantage of by your financial advisor, what to look out for. We're going to talk about MERs and how to lower your fees that you're paying. Understanding investment fees and the impact on your future. And financial planning 101. And online self-education, what to look out for, what to be aware of. So let's go to money myths. We're going to discuss some of the biggest misconceptions that people have when it comes to their money. The first one is just win the lottery. Why would I have to attend classes like this when I could just win the lottery? Right? That's what most people think is the path to financial success. You won't believe this. 1 in 5 surveyed thought that winning the lottery was the best path to financial security. 1 in 5. And it's not, right? So here are the odds of winning the lottery. You have a 1 in 13,983,816 chance. I know a lot of people are looking at this like, wow, this is great news. Like, there's a chance. Like, this might motivate some people to buy more lottery tickets, which is not why we want to show you these slides. To put this into perspective, you have a 1 in 7 million chance of being struck by lightning. So, way better chance of being struck by lightning than winning the lottery. And you have a 1 in 705,000 chance of giving birth to quadruplets. 4 kids at once. I have a better chance of giving birth to quadruplets than a lot of you do winning the lottery. Like, that's how rare it is. And what's shocking is 70% of people who win the lottery go bankrupt within 3 years. But what a fun 3 years that must have been, right? Like, they must have had a lot of fun to go bankrupt and to lose all that money. So that's not a good, strategy. And one of the biggest misconceptions Canadians have is they think making money is more important than learning how to save, manage, and invest it. We're not here to say making money isn't important. It's very important. You need to make money to build wealth, to have savings, and to invest. But if you don't learn how to save and invest your money, it doesn't matter how much money you earn, you will struggle financially. You will have financial stress. We've met individuals that are earning hundreds of thousands of dollars per year that are stressed out about their money. They're struggling with debt. It's not because they don't make enough money. They don't have a money making issue. They have a saving, investing, they have a money management issue. You look at this stat, 70% of millionaires never earned a six-figure income. 70%. This was one of the largest studies of millionaires. Over 10,000 were surveyed. 7 out of 10 never earned a six-figure income. So if you're someone that's stressing right now and your belief system is, I need to make more money, or I don't make enough money to be financially successful, I want to challenge that belief system, because most people that we've seen, they're able to improve their financial life by tenfold, not from making more money, by learning how to manage it. And guess what? When you learn how to manage it, the more money you make, the faster your wealth is going to accumulate, because you have this strong foundation. But if you make a lot of money and you don't have a strong foundation, then you're never going to see the progress that you want for you and your family. Again, we've met so many Canadians. We've had the privilege to speak to hundreds of thousands of Canadians right across the country, do these events for millions at this point. And every single time we do an event, or we're at a workshop, or even a webinar like this, we meet individuals that are earning $50,000 per year that are doing better financially than people making $120,000 per year. We see it all the time. And if you ask the person that's making $120,000, hey, what would solve your financial problems? Guess what they say? 99 times out of 100. Let me know in the questions box. What do you think they say? Someone that's making $120,000, that's not satisfied with their financial situation, that wants to do better financially. When we ask them, what would solve your money problems? What do you think they say? Put your answers in the chat box there. All right, let's go. Yep, Karen, you got it. I need to make more money. Alpha got it. Karen got it. Ashley, absolutely. Brenda, yes. Hey, Ashley. Hey, John. Yep, need to make more money. If I just made more money, that would solve all my problems. Because imagine you go to the gym to work out. That's how I like to go to the gym. I like to imagine it. It doesn't really work, so I don't recommend that you try. But imagine you go to the gym and you try to lift 50 pounds. You're doing like a bench press, and you try to do 50 pounds, but you can't do it. It's too heavy. Do you think it makes sense to try and lift 120 pounds? No, if you can't lift 50 pounds, you can't lift 120 pounds. Well, if you can't manage $50,000, do you really think you will be able to manage $120,000? Probably not, but most people are convinced that they could. You know, every single year there's a story that gets released like this. Here's how a janitor amassed an $8 million fortune. Here's an individual that didn't earn a lot of money that was able to be financially free. So there's two skills to build wealth. Number one, you need to learn the skill of making money. Okay, it's very difficult, it's almost impossible to build wealth without an income source unless you're doing some active trading like options trading, futures, forex. You also need to learn how to save, manage, and invest that money. These are both equally as important. Okay, now I want to ask you all a question. I need all of you to put the answers in the comments section. The reason we do this is the more engaged you are, the more you're going to get from this class. But I want you to ask yourself, how much time, energy, and attention do you spend on making money versus managing it? And put your answers in the comments section as a ratio, like 90-10, 100-0, 50-50. So please put your answers in the comments section. Sammy says 95.5. Marie says 95.5. Brenda says 50-50. 60-40 from Karen. Awesome. 75. Yep. Great job, everyone, for putting in your answers. Great job, Alpha, Cake, Girl, Ronan, Deb, John, Monique, Deborah, Leslie. Okay, so that's number one, the psychology. And the reason that we spent some time on that is no matter how great your stock market investing real estate strategy is, no matter how incredible your crypto strategy is, it is so difficult to sustain long term wealth if you don't have the right beliefs. And one of the first beliefs that you need to adopt is to build wealth, you need to learn how to manage your money. The second belief is belief in yourself. That's half the battle. You need to be able to tell yourself, I can achieve financial freedom. I can be financially free. That's half the battle for a lot of you. So really make sure that you look yourself in the mirror and you pump yourself up. Any Canadian can achieve financial freedom with the right guidance. But the most important step is having that belief in yourself. So, the real goal, let's talk about number two, is financial freedom. So many people get confused because they think the goal is to make a lot of money or to get a great rate of return or to double their money. And those things are all distractions because the real goal for you and your family is financial freedom. Now, the challenge for most Canadians is this is what their life looks like. You know, they go to work 40, 50 hours a week to make money. They spend their time to earn money. And when they get paid, they get so excited, but all that money goes to paying down their bills, paying off debt, or that money sits in a savings account and isn't really growing. And the challenge for a lot of us is we have to go back to work. If we stop working, the money stops coming in and we can't pay for our bills or we don't have any money to invest. This is the trap that so many Canadians live in. Put in relate in the comments box if you can relate to this, where maybe you've been at a job for 10 years and money comes in and money goes out. And at the end of each month, you're scratching your head wondering, where's my money going? Like, what the heck is going on? Let me know if you can relate to that. Just put in relate in the comments box. Yep. Now, the first step to breaking this cycle is to understand you're living in this cycle. So that's step number one. Step number two is having a vision of what your dream life kind of looks like. That's the second step, okay? So this is the goal. Guys, I want you to write this down. I want you to take a screenshot of this. I need you to implant this, ingrain this into your mind. You should maybe even print this off and put it in your bathroom. So when you're brushing your teeth, you're looking at it, because this is the ultimate goal. This is why you go to work every single day. It's so that you can reach this point of financial freedom. It's when you're able to reach a point in your life where the money that you earn buys assets. Okay, now you have to be very careful with the assets that you buy, because there's a lot that are not earning you passive income. You only want to buy assets that are earning you a passive income each month and maximize that passive income, especially if you're someone that's transitioning to retirement. That passive income then fuels your lifestyle. This is it from a technical standpoint. Imagine waking up every morning and going to your mailbox, and in your mailbox, there's a check waiting for you. And that check pays for your bills, it pays for your expenses, and every single month you know that check is going to be there whether or not you work. How incredible would that be? How much freedom would that be for you and your family? How much confidence would you have? That's the goal. That's what we want to work towards. Right? So in the comment section, I'd just love to know, what does financial freedom mean to you? What does it mean? Is it spending more time with your family and friends? Is it traveling more? Is it just not worrying about money? Is it quitting your job? Is it picking up a project that you're passionate about? What does financial freedom mean to you? I love this from Greg. He says, not worrying about money. Yep, it's as simple as that. Just living simply with no worry. Yeah, absolutely. Travel, freedom. Freedom to do what I want, making passive income that can then be invested in the local community. Oh, that's really amazing, Ashley. I love that. I like this, working on passion projects. Absolutely. I love this from Carla too. Is travel, spending time with my family and friends, not worrying about my bills. Absolutely. Having enough left to enjoy life after paying the bills. Yeah. Right. So I think the big takeaway from that section is understanding the cycle that you need to achieve, and really grabbing a journal and writing down, what does financial freedom mean to you? Because that's your why, that's your reason. And when times get tough, when you feel like you can't make much progress, it's good to revisit your reasons to give you that boost of motivation. Because everyone has down days. I have down days. Everyone has down days. But all of us have motivations, and our motivations are different. So when you review your motivations, that could give you a little bit of a kick in the butt that you need. All right, let's talk about credit scores. This is important and might be a review for some of you. Did you know 56% of Canadians have never checked their credit score, and only 14% check it once per year? How many of you know what your credit score is? The exact score. Put yes or no in the comment section. Do you know what your exact score is? Great job, Marion. Yep, Olfa. Yep, great job, Greg. Yes, perfect. So most of you, it's a yes. That's great. So how does a credit score work? It can range between 550 to 740 plus, which is excellent. And the reason it's important to have a good credit score is, imagine there's two people. There's two people that go to the car dealership. One has a good, excellent credit score. One has a poor credit score. The person that has an excellent credit score, they're going to be able to get this car loan of 25 grand. And their interest that they're going to pay is going to be around $3,375, because their credit score is good. Now, for someone that has a poor credit score, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to get a loan. The reason why is, a lot of lenders don't want to lend people money that aren't going to pay it back. That's how they lose money. They want to lend money to people that have a good reputation on paying back their loan, which is really what a credit score is. Your credit score is just a reputation score. Do you have the reputation to pay off your loan or not? And that's really all it is. If you have a poor credit score, the total interest that you're paying is 13 grand. So you've lost almost $10,000 by not having an excellent credit score. Now, some people think that's the lost savings, like $10,000. It's not. Because if the person with the excellent credit score took those savings and invested it for 20 years at an 8% return, it's $46,000. So that's why it's so important to have an excellent credit score. Okay, let's talk about passive income investments. This is important to understand. It goes back to point number 2, which is understanding that financial freedom cycle. There's two really big differences between being rich versus being wealthy, and it really relates to how your relationship with this time and money. So being rich is this. You see a lot of real estate agents in this boat, a lot of salespeople in this position. Even people like CEOs, where the more they work, the more money they earn. As a real estate agent, we see this all the time. The more houses they sell, the more money they make, and that's great. The challenge with being rich is if you stop working, what happens to your money? It goes down. As soon as you work less hours, your income drops. You have to work 40, 50 hours a week for you to sustain that level of income. And this is how most rich people are living. People that look like they have a really nice home, they have a lot of nice things. They're on the brink. They are walking on glass because if they stop working, they get sick, something happens, they have to relocate, their income is gone. And when your income goes down, but your bills still remain the same, you're in a really challenging position for you and for your family. So what does it mean to be wealthy? Being wealthy is when you're able to reach a point in your life where the money that you earn is not correlated to the number of hours that you work. This is so important to understand. I really can't emphasize this enough. So you can start working less hours, but your income stays the same, or it actually increases a bit because you have these passive income investments. Again, this is the goal. You want to be wealthy. You don't want to be rich. Now, for those of you who've ever played the game Monopoly, would you ever play and, would you ever play and just play Monopoly without buying any houses? That's how some people play. And those are the first people to lose. They're going around and they're just collecting cash while other people are buying houses. Having money sitting in a savings account is like playing the game of Monopoly without buying any houses. You need your money to move. You need your money to make money. Cash is trash. If you have money sitting in cash, not an emergency fund, but money in a savings account that's not being invested, you are losing money, especially because the rate of inflation is around 3.5%, 4% this year. It's really high, which means everything is getting more expensive, but your money isn't growing. You need to invest your money. And I know a lot of you have a fear. You're scared to invest. You need to get over that fear. It's the same fear as jumping into the deep end. It's the same fear as riding a bike. You need to educate yourself. You need to practice. You need to feel confident in what you're doing. And the first step is just an understanding and education. So, what are the 3 sources of passive income in Canada? So write these down. These are tried and true. There are so many others, but these are the tried and true. Real estate, stock market, private second mortgages. These have stood the test of time. They've been around for hundreds of years and they work. Some people say, why don't you have cryptocurrency in here? Cryptocurrency is absolutely a passive income source, especially when you're doing stuff like liquidity pools or things along that nature, or staking. You can earn crazy returns there, and I have a portion of my money in those types of passive income. But here's what I know that could vanish in a heartbeat. That could be gone very quickly. There's a lot of risk there. These are the ones that you need to place a lot of your attention. Right here, okay? So let's take a look at some of these. Let's take a look at real estate. So this is an example of an income property that I own in Oshawa. I bought it 5 years ago. I rent out the upstairs for $1,650, the downstairs for $1,500. I'm making a little over $3,000 a month. The mortgage is $1,500, and the bill's $600. So it's cash flowing about $1,000 before tax every single month. The house price is going up and the mortgage is going down. Okay. Now I know a lot of people are looking at this and then they have those limiting beliefs like, I can't do this. I don't have a down payment. There are other ways to buy an investment property without needing a down payment. There's owner financing. There's creative options. Because remember, the first step to being financially free is believing in yourself that you can be financially free. That is the biggest and most important step. You got to watch those limiting beliefs that come in. Is this easy? No. Can you do it? Yes. It just takes some time, some patience, and you might need a mentor. You might need a coach to help you out. I love real estate. This is an individual. His name is Tyson George. He's 19 years old now. He bought his first investment property at 16 years old. He had some guidance from his family, but he's the one that saved the money. He's the one that did the research and he did everything, even some repairs. 16 years old. If a 16-year-old can do it, you can do it. He's 19-year-old now and he owns 7 investment properties. So let's talk about the stock market. This is one of my favorite places to build wealth. Now, the stock market, it's a tricky passive income source because there's a lot of up years and a lot of down years. So it's not as consistent as something like real estate unless you're going heavy into dividend investing. But if you're just investing in the markets, it could go up and it could go down. As you transition to retirement, you might need to transition your portfolio to be more passive income focused. But here's the returns over the past 110 years of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. If you take a look at it, the years in green are positive years, the years in red are negative years. As you can see, the majority of years are positive. You are making money 76% of the time. Are there losing years? Yes. But this is way better than gambling or going to the casino because you're making money 76% of the time. Now, quick question for all of you. How many sources of income should you have? How many sources of income do you think you should have? Okay, as many as possible, as many as possible. Lots, more than one. Yep, we have 3. Great job, Greg. Javisfield, Jackie, for putting in your answers. Great job, Deborah. Leslie, Cake Girl, Jaden, Infinite. The more the better. At one point, it just gets unmanageable, though, right? You need to be able to do this in a manageable way that doesn't create a lot of stress for you and your family. But if you take a look at it, the average millionaire has 7 sources of income. So this is a good benchmark to look at. But one step at a time. Building wealth is a marathon and it starts with one step. A lot of us get anxiety because you look at all the things that you need to do and you're like, oh, I don't even own a home. I don't even have an investment account. I don't even have a TFSA. There's all these things I should be doing and I'm not doing. And it's very easy to get overwhelmed and unmotivated. Just take that step in front of you. What's one thing that you could do today to help you create passive income? Ask yourself that question. What is one small step that you can take today to start creating more passive income or just to better your finances? Okay, let's talk about advisors and fees. Because on your journey to building wealth, it's good to have people by your side to trust that are going to point you in the right direction, that can um, really just coach you along the way. Now, you have to be very careful because financial advisors, when you go to a bank, they are paid to sell you financial products. That's how they get compensated. 99.9% of financial advisors aren't going to sit down with you and talk about budgeting. They're not going to talk about how to reduce your monthly bills, how to negotiate with your service provider. In most cases, they won't touch on insurance, taxes, and all the important aspects of being financially free. Why is that? Well, all financial advisors, 90% plus, 95% plus in Canada, get paid to sell you financial products. The more products that they sell you, the more money they make. It's not good or bad, that's just how the system works. Okay? It's really critical to understand this. And remember this, 46% of financial planners have no retirement plan. Half. Imagine you have a family, and let's say you have a son or a daughter, and you want to sign them up for swimming classes. You want them to learn how to swim. And the swimming instructor approaches you and they say, oh, you know what? I'm the swimming instructor, but I don't know how to swim. But I've read a lot of books on swimming. I don't actually swim. Would you feel very comfortable with that person being your kid's swimming instructor? I don't think so. That's a little scary. So you want to make sure you have a financial advisor that's on your same page, that's practicing what they preach. Nothing worse than meeting someone that doesn't practice what they preach. And guess what? 49% of fund managers own no shares in the funds that they manage. Half of the time they're telling you to buy this ETF, buy this mutual fund, and they themselves don't own that own fund. So a great question to ask themselves, guys, challenge these people. You should be interviewing them. It's your money. Put them on the spot. Say, hey, are you investing in this fund? Is your money in it? Let me see your statements. What are you invested in? Ask those tough questions. Yeah, they're uncomfortable, but this is your money that you work so damn hard for. You want to make sure it's in the right hands. It's with people that are going to do a good job with your money, that are going to trust, that you can trust. Again, we're not anti-financial advisors. Having a coach or a mentor in your life can help you achieve financial freedom a lot easier and faster than you could have thought possible. Be careful who you trust with your money. It's, unfortunately, these people, their job description isn't to put you in a better situation. Their job description is to sell you investments or insurance or funds. And remember this, how compensation is received may affect the advice that you receive. How compensation is received may affect the advice that you receive. Absolutely. Right? So if you take a look at this, let's talk about the language of money, because money is a language. It's a language you use every single day. Most of us, we were just never taught how to speak this language. Here are the leading causes of death in North America: heart disease, cancer, iatrogenic causes. The reason I'm showing you this is because every industry out there has their own vocabulary that they use to confuse people, to avoid people asking questions. So, a great question to ask, you know, and a question like this is, what is the third leading cause of death? This is an example of how the healthcare industry has created a term to confuse people. So, how many of you have heard of iatrogenic causes? Let me know in the chat box. Ronan says they won't show you their statements. You're kidding me. Ronan, honestly, if I was looking for a financial advisor and they didn't show me their financial statements, I wouldn't go with that advisor. I wouldn't trust them. You can say, block out your account numbers, do all that, but I want to see that you're investing in the things that you're recommending me. How many of you have heard of iatrogenic causes without searching on Google? Let me know in the comments section, yes or no. Have you heard of it? No idea, never heard of it. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. So what it is, it's physician or medical error. Isn't that shocking? That the third leading cause of death is mistakes made by the physician, made by the doctor. Now, why don't they just call it mistakes? Because that looks really bad. Iatrogenic sounds a lot better than doctor mistakes. So, this is a term that the healthcare industry created to avoid saying something as simple as mistakes. The financial industry is no different. They got around and they created a term called an MER, which is a management expense ratio. It sounds very complicated. It sounds unbelievable. What is it really? It's a commission. That's all it is. It's a commission that you pay to your financial advisor and on your investments. Now, why don't they just be straight up and straightforward and just say it's a commission? Because commission just sounds bad. You know what I mean? Imagine someone came up to you and you didn't know what a management expense ratio was and say, you know what? You're going to pay me a management expense ratio. I would feel really good about it. Be like, you know what? This sounds great. I'll pay two of those, double it up. But when you hear commission, as soon as you hear that, you just have a psychological, like, ooh, no thank you. So they're very smart, the financial industry. They thought about everything. Here is a article from CBC. They found out high mutual fund fees can cause Canadians to delay their retirement by as much as 11 years or leave them with 40% less money. 40% less money because of the high fees that they're charging. This was a study done by Morningstar. They went around they did two studies, 2017 and 2019. They went around to each country around the world and they gave each country a grade. The grade is based on two things. Number one, how transparent is the country with the fees that they charge? And number two, how reasonable are the fees? So these are the countries that got an A, that did a good job: Australia, Netherlands, New Zealand, Sweden, United States. What grade do you think Canada received in 2017, the date of this study? Put your answers in the comments section. Do you think we got a B, C, D, F? What grade? Great job, Carla, Sammy, Leslie, KG, Mary, Deborah. Great job, Jackie, Sheldon, Karen, Brenda, Ronan, Greg. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look. South Africa, Thailand, United Kingdom received a B. Canada received an F. Isn't that shocking? Put the shock emoji in the comment section though. Like, if that just shocks you, doesn't that? Oh, at least we got the equal sign, which means we had no change since the last survey. So if you're an optimistic person, you can look at this and say, at least we're consistent. We're consistently getting an F. Oh, that's brutal. Now we have improved. We've gone up to a D, which is good news. The most recent one I think was 2020. It's now at a D, which is still pretty bad. A lot of those countries that were from a D went up. But yeah, it's shocking. I want to give you a real life example of this. One of our coaching clients, her name was Lisa Mesh, 45 years old, had $350,000 invested in her investment accounts. She had no idea how much she was paying in fees, and it was 2.7%. She didn't know. She thought this was good. She found out she's paying almost 10 grand a year in fees. Didn't know. Now, this is about average in Canada. The average MER is around 2.2 to 2.5. So this is not far off from the average. When she saw 10,000, you know what her initial reaction was? It's okay. She said, my financial advisor is a high school friend. We get along great. I don't want to create any drama. I can pay this $10,000 a year. He's doing a great job with my money. And we're like, okay, Lisa, you need to look at the long-term impacts of this. So if you look at the long-term impacts of this, if Lisa took her $350,000 and invested it for 20 years at a 6% return, she would have $1.12 million, assuming she put no more money and she let that 350,000 just grow for 20 years. Because she's paying a 2.7% fee, she won't have 1.12 million. She'll only have $670,000. So the small fee that's about average in Canada is costing someone like Lisa $452,000. It's mind blowing. Every time I see these numbers, it blows my mind. And honestly, it reminds me of an Albert Einstein quote. He says, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those that understand it earn it. Those that don't understand it pay it. Guys, guess what? The financial industry has been around for hundreds of years. They understand compound interest and they're using it to take advantage of a lot of Canadians and individuals. It's up to us to educate ourselves and to put ourselves and our family in the right spot. And guys, honestly, this is why we do Enriched Academy. This is why we do these classes. It's not a fair playing field right now. There are very minimal, if any, trusted sources of financial literacy in people's best interest. It barely exists. Everything out there is designed to get you to buy a credit card, to get you to go into credit card debt. Guys, I got a letter from CIBC a couple of years ago, and any bank does this. They sent me a letter that said, hey, Arian, congratulations, you got approved for a credit limit increase. And I was like, yes, credit limit increase. And they said, you could do a lot of things with this credit limit. Go on vacation or buy some new clothes. Isn't that shocking that a financial institution is telling me I should use my credit card to go on vacation or to buy depreciating assets like clothes? It's shocking. As the best person to trust with your money is you. Nobody cares about your money more than you do. It's just nobody does. So what did Lisa do? She was able to lower her fee from 2.7 to 1%. How did she do this? Education. She started learning what questions she needs to ask her financial advisor. She learned about the different financial advisors out there, commission based versus fee based. She learned how to read her financial statements to understand the fees that she was paying. She went out there. It took work, but she was able to finally lower her MER. And now she'll have $928,000. So a good fee is 1%. That is a good manageable fee. So if you take a look at it, this education, a little bit of financial literacy, put $259,000 back into the pockets of Lisa. One idea made her hundreds of thousands of dollars. And we asked her, Lisa, how many hours do you have to work to make that? And she's like, hundreds of hours. And we're like, we were able to put that money back into your pocket for you and your family, not for making more money, just by adjusting what you're doing. And that's the power of education. That's the power of one idea. Because no matter your situation, all it takes is one idea to change your financial future. You're one idea away from saving more money, from buying that investment property, from having a little bit more financial freedom. Now, these ideas take time. They don't happen overnight. So guys, if that inspires you, just put in one idea in the comments section. The idea of having one idea, if that inspires you, if that motivates you, that wherever you are, whether you're struggling with debt, whether you're just learning about investing, one or two adjustments to what you're doing can change you and your family's future. Amazing. All right. Let's talk about financial planning, creating a financial plan for you and your family. If you're someone that's ever been stressed about your finances, or you've had thoughts like, am I saving enough? Am I on the right track? What am I doing? Remember, you need to have a plan. A plan, it just makes life so much easier. But you have to understand 69% of Canadians don't really have a plan, almost 70%. And 47% of divorces are caused by marriage. Isn't that shocking? 47%. I'm just kidding. 47% of divorces are caused by money, not by marriage. That was a joke. So, when it comes to creating a financial plan, it's really important that you get it clear on where you are right now and where you want to go. It's like GPS. When you open up your GPS on Google Maps, what's the first thing that they ask you? They don't ask you where you want to go. They ask you what's your current location. Most of us have auto locate on, so we never have to type this in. It always knows where we are. But most people don't always know where they are financially. So you need to do an audit on yourself. You need to take a step back and look at yourself and be like, okay, where am I financially? Then create a plan for you and your family. At Enriched Academy, we have this amazing tool called the Financial Freedom Calculator. And what it does, it basically, like Ronan's point says, everyone's financial situation is different. And absolutely correct. Everyone's situation is different. So what's great about a calculator like this, it's personalized to you. Like your age, everyone's different age here. What's your income? Everyone has a different income. You start to put your numbers into this calculator and it starts to automatically create a plan for you and your family. And at the end, it tells you if you're on the right track, if you're saving enough. And what's great is you can go back and make these adjustments. Maybe you have to wait a few years to retire. Maybe you have to lower your income. But remember this, a plane is off course 90% of the time. Did you know that? I didn't know that. It kind of scares me, honestly, that every time you go on a plane, 90% of the time, it's not on the path that it should be. It's off course, but it always ends up at the destination. And it's the same thing with life. It's the same thing with your finances. Very rarely is everything going to go according to your plan. No, you're going to have roadblocks. You're going to have things come out of left field that you didn't expect. And that's okay. You need to get back on course and go in the right direction. It's so important. Okay, number 8 is self-education. Let's talk about this. Warren Buffett is one of the richest investors of all time. He said, invest in as much as yourself as you can. You are your biggest asset by far. No matter where you're at financially, the best thing that you could do is educate yourself and learn because your mind is your greatest appreciating asset. If you're nervous about investing, it's because you haven't educated yourself on it. Now, you need to beware of online financial education. Right now, the great thing about the internet is there's so much information. The bad thing about the internet is there's so much information. So here's some great check marks to look out for. Double check the credibility of those that you're reading. Any individual can write a blog. It costs $0 or very little to start a blog and to start talking about topics that people, frankly, aren't experts or have credibility in. Avoid clickbait, predictions, and negativity. Find Canadian financial education because a lot of the things in America don't relate here in Canada. Ensure the source is credible. Don't mistake news with education. This is so important. There's a great saying, they say we need to study more and consume less. Right now, there's so much news and financial commentary, and those things can really distract you and can really fill your mind with a lot of information that isn't going to help you with your goal. You know, reading news on the stock market versus learning how the stock market actually works are totally separate things. Find resources that are organized and structured. They're structured well to avoid falling into the rabbit holes. I'm not sure if how many of you have fallen into kind of the YouTube rabbit hole or the internet rabbit hole, where you look at one thing and it leads you into all these different places and all this direction. The challenge with most education online, it's not organized well. You got one blog on this site, another video here, one that's American here. You want to look for education that has a really smart structure that makes sense. So if you are interested in more classes like this, guys, there's a link below. Every single week we do financial literacy classes, so make sure to sign up for that. And just remember, pessimism is persuasive. Uh, It's very persuasive. Whoops. My PowerPoint froze. Bear with me. Oh no. I gotta restart here. Thanks for your patience, everyone. Let me know if you're enjoying the class so far. Just give me a thumbs up, or you could just put enjoy in the comments section if you're enjoying this class, if you're glad you're here. Perfect. All right, so I was here with this point. Pessimism is persuasive. Um, it just is. It's so much more satisfying for us and human beings. We're wired to look at more negative news, right? That's why a lot of the media, it's like breaking news and it's something negative. You know that saying, if it bleeds, it leads. It's because humans were wired. I don't know what it is exactly, but we're just wired to be attracted to negativity and things that are very viral and have opposing views. If you take a look at it, here's a couple perfect examples. Go on YouTube right now. Look at this. The road to economic and stock market recovery in 2021. 4,000 views. CNBC. They have millions of subscribers. This is one of their least viewed videos. Spending stimulus suggests strong economic rebound for 2021. This is during the pandemic. Look at this. Why Grant says the next market crash will rival 1929 to 2000. 2.2 million views. I watched that video. It's almost impossible not to watch it. It's so clickbaity and so attractive to want to watch something like that. Look at this one, Harry Dent. Stock markets to crash 40% by April and won't rebound for decades. That was actually wrong. That didn't happen. That was last year, part one of 1.3 million views. So just watch out for these guys. It's all out there. So guys, what we have at Enriched Academy that we're really excited about, we have this amazing online financial literacy resources if you haven't seen them before. And what we're doing is we're helping a lot of Canadians just get access to unbiased, good financial advice. That's to the point, there's no fluff, we don't sell financial products, and it's really the goal and the intention of all of our programs is to help Canadians get in a better financial situation, whether they're in debt, whether they're living paycheck to paycheck, or even for those that are saving money that just want to learn how to improve their finances. What's so incredible to see, we now have governments, corporations, and governments seeing the importance of this financial literacy, partner with Enriched Academy to push this to more Canadians. So if you take a look at it, what we have right now is a free assessment call. We're offering all of you on today's class a free 45-minute call with the financial freedom consultant to discuss your finances, to help you create a plan for your future. It's going to be a great call where that individual is really going to get an understanding of you, your challenges, where you're at, and help you come up with some solutions. So there is a link in the chat box. Please click that link. You could sign up for the free call. And remember, education is the first step to transforming your financial life. Education is great. We're not here to say it's bad. It's fantastic. But your life really isn't going to change unless you start doing something with the education, until you start taking action. And that's really what coaching is all about. So Enriched Academy created a one-on-one coaching program about 5 years ago, really designed for the Canadians that have tried to do it on their own. They've watched videos, gone through courses, but they're still not satisfied with their financial situation. They still want more. They still want to better their finances. They want more support. They want more help. That's what coaching is all about. It's totally unbiased, where the goal is just to help you out, put you in a good financial situation. So I'm going to get the link. It should have popped up right now. Awesome, Deborah. Deborah's in the coaching, said, I had my second session this weekend, so helpful. So I'm going to make sure the link, I'm not sure why you don't see it here. So we will get that link to you. And if it doesn't pop up, I'm going to go get it at the end. So why is it that a lot of Canadians, they never are able to live the way that they want to live? Three reasons, guys. We broke it down. They get nervous and scared. It's true. Personal finance is scary. Some of them lack discipline and motivation, and others encounter roadblocks. If you're not satisfied with where you want to be in October of 2021, from a financial standpoint, it probably comes down to one of these three roadblocks. So, in the questions box, in the comment section, let me know which one you've encountered the most over the past couple years. And the reason I'm asking this question is because one of the first steps to overcome roadblocks is to understand what those roadblocks are. For myself, it was nervous and scared. I was scared about the stock market for a long time. I was scared about pre-construction condominiums for a long time. I never had a discipline and motivation issue. I was always pretty good with that, and I was pretty good at going past roadblocks if I was confident with my education. And unfortunately, these are the three kind of roadblocks that hold a lot of Canadians back. If you take a look at it, the number one cause of stress for Canadians is money, more than personal health and work. 70% of Canadians don't have a retirement plan and think they won't save enough for retirement. 7 in 10 Canadians. And this is our mission. This is our goal. This is why we're inspired to do what we do, is to help the everyday Canadian be financially free. If you take a look, someone like Leslie, thanks for sharing this, Leslie. I'm totally out of debt. My credit score went up 100 points. Incredible. And again, the first step, I know Leslie probably had this internal battle with herself, but the first step is you got to believe in yourself. If you can't think you can do it, if you can't, if you don't believe in yourself, it's not going to happen. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you deserve this, that you can achieve this. And I get everyone's financial situation is so different. I get it. But you can do it, guys. We live in a great country. It's possible. And the problem is Canadians are not able to live the life that they desire. We have this one life to live. You only live once. Let's make it the best life we possibly can. Let's do whatever we have to do for our families. And let's get there. And again, that's why we created coaching. So how does this program work? It's 6 one-on-one virtual meetings with the financial expert. It's a customized plan for you based on your situation. If you're in debt, the plan is going to teach you how to get out of debt. If you have a tough time saving money, we're going to help you create a plan to start saving more money. It's 100% personalized to you and your situation. There's an accountability system, which is so important because you need someone by your side holding your hand, making sure you're doing the right things, opening up the right accounts, ensuring your budget, your network tracker, your property analyzer are all done properly. That's the accountability system. The financial foundation that will pay you forever. The goal of this program is 6 months. We're not trying to keep you for a client forever. We want to have you 6 months. In those 6 months, we're going to help you build a foundation for the rest of your life. 6 months for the rest of your life. That's the motto. So, guys, the link is in the chat box. Please click that link. Schedule your free call. Spots are limited. We have 3 people doing these calls, so please do check that out. And then finally, you have lifetime access to our on-demand financial literacy videos and tools. A lot of people ask, and I get it, does this actually work? Here are the average results of our coaching clients in just 6 months from January 2021 to June 2021. Look at the average net worth increase, $50,000. Credit score up 28 points. Total advisor fee saved down 1.25%. We're helping Canadians put $1,214 back into their pocket without working another job, without working more hours, or stressing, spending less time with their family, just by getting smarter with their money, lowering their bills, budgeting. What would an extra $1,200 mean for you and your family? That's game changing, guys. Decrease in credit card debt. I 3,500 and passive income increased by 3,000. These are the financial results of coaching and education and getting some unbiased guidance. This doesn't show you the emotional impact that this program has on people. People have gone from being stressed about their money to feeling confident, empowered, and excited about their future. Um, it works, guys. I love what Leslie says. It totally works and it's well worth it. So we have this meeting. Again, please click the link below. Learn more about the program. See if it's a good fit for you. I want to be clear. The coaching is not for everyone. All right? It isn't. So on the call, what's going to happen? We're going to evaluate your financial situation. We're going to identify the root causes that are holding you back. We're going to help you set goals for your future. And we're going to help you design your path forward. So is it right for you? I want to be clear, this is not right for everyone. Do you want to be aware of your different options? If the answer is yes, it's worth giving the program a try. Do you want to achieve your goals faster? Yes. Do you need help taking action? If the answer is yes, then the coaching and this assessment call is for you. And do you feel like you should be doing better financially? Now, can you be financially free just through education? Absolutely. But having a mentor, having a coach can help you get there so much faster. It's why sports teams have a coach. Coaches help. They've stood the test of time. They're able to see things that you're not able to see. And what's great about our coaches, they understand, they see the path for your future because they've already helped thousands of Canadians go from where you are to being financially free. But here's the thing. You have to be willing to make the hard decisions, put in the work. Just like Kate Girl 75 says, it helped me, you got to put in the work. So in terms of pricing, as the best people to talk about pricing for our program is the people that you speak to. We have free classes like this, then our coaching, it is a paid program, but we have different tiers. So you want to ask the individual that you speak with. They will help you answer that. And again, there is limited availability, so please schedule your call today. As I want to thank you so much for taking the time to attend today's class. I hope you enjoyed it. We are doing more classes once a week, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this class, and we will see you all very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and take care, everyone. Bye for now.